Hello again and welcome to Spotlight, the interview show on RT. I'm Aleksandr, and today my guest in the studio is Aleksandr Shubin. The internet today is a place where almost any media is available for free. For content providers, this is a problem. It costs money to make movies, music and games, so they want protection for their investment. The conundrum is how this can be achieved without restricting freedom of information and ideas. So, can there be a compromise, or the information battle is set to run forever? We're asking one of the leaders of the Russian Pirate Party that advocates complete freedom of the internet, Aleksandr Shubin.
During the last 5 years, the world has seen the rise of the so-called pirate parties. These are groups struggling to reform copyright and patent laws in favor of the free transfer of information. At the moment, there are pirate parties in about 40 countries around the globe. Some of the European ones take part in local legislatures, and the Swedish party even has 2 seats in the European Parliament. Most of the world's pirate parties supported recent protests against the SOPA and the PIPA bills heard in the US Congress. They claimed they were a threat to freedom of information and an attempt to introduce censorship in the internet.
Hello, Mr. Shubin, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being with us today. Well, first of all, I would like you to comment on the situation that we see in the United States. The draft laws, I mean the SOPA and PIPA. Why did these laws, why did the discussion of these laws provoke such an outrage? How could it change the lives of the ordinary Americans if they are finally passed?
Not only ordinary Americans. And I think for us it's very important that America now is something like capital of the world, and what they do, they, after some time, it's involved on our situation and our life. And we know that internet is basing some part of internet basing on America, and if they organize this new totalitarian rules of game there, it will be here. And of course it's very dangerous that they try step by step, attempt after attempt to make this totalitarian control on the internet. And we know the first actions, including arresting of people, for example in New Zealand we know these events. So of course we are protesting. And of course we understand that it is not...
But you're protesting, you're not protecting Americans, you're trying to protect the Russians.
We want to protect everybody. 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 Now we are living in the world. And people who are living inside the internet, they are living in the world, not only in Russia or in America. And we are living in a new reality. And in this reality, we protecting ourselves.
In a new virtual reality. Well, it is
a new reality, because virtual reality is part of reality and maybe dominating part of the reality today.
This is very sad. To hear.
Why not? Why sad? Maybe not, because intellectual life is life in books, in internet, and it is very important, intellectual life.
Well, it's very true too, right.
Yes, and to the SOPA and PIPA, it's not first attempt, and it is not last attempt. It is part of big battle between grassroots networks, civil society from one side, and these authoritarian people in states, bureaucracies, transnational corporations, and of course in internet manipulating structures, which want to make such a law that before court they can arrest resource. So it is Stalinism, new Stalinism, not less.
Okay.
And of course we are against.
Okay, well on the 18th of January, more than 150,000 websites somehow altered their web pages or went offline protesting against US anti-piracy legislation. Spotlight's Elena Demidova has more on the biggest online protest in internet history.
For many internet users around the world, January 18th was a day when their favorite web pages were blacked out or changed. It was also the day when they learned 2 new acronyms, SOPA and PIPA, abbreviations of the controversial American anti-piracy bills. The Stop Online Piracy Act, SOPA, and Protect Internet Privacy Act, PIPA, were making their way through the US Congress. Those opposing the laws claim their provisions have been written so broadly that they could eventually lead to censorship on the net and harm millions of innocent users. Internet giants such as Google and YouTube likened the bills to Chinese-style media control. The online protest meant some of Internet's largest and most popular resources, like Wikipedia, shut down for 24 hours. The next day, peaceful online protest gave way to a massive hacker attack when the group Anonymous crippled US government and entertainment industry sites, a response to the closure of the popular file-sharing website Mega Upload. Advocates of online freedom celebrated on January 20th when the US Congress announced it would indefinitely postpone voting on SOPA and PIPA. The controversial legislation will now be rewritten in the hope of finding a better balance between online freedom and copyright protection. But a compromise that suits everyone will be almost impossible to find, making round 2 of the battle for the Internet a near certainty.
Well, you and your friends, your colleagues, are trying to fight the SOPA-PIPA bills today, but despite the decision on the bills, the U.S. authorities have closed down the Mega Upload, one of the biggest file-sharing sites in the world. So doesn't that mean that the existing legislation is enough to fight piracy in the net? So why do you have to fight the SOPA-PIPA, and why do they need the SOPA-PIPA? Well, what's it all about?
Well, first of all, our totalitarian enemies try to attack in different ways, and of course with SOPA-PIPA it will be more useful to attack for them. And
easier.
Because this Mega Upload deal, it is a really Stalinistic practice too, because it is a field, this Mega Upload. You can put, you can give. It is the same as to arrest big market, because some people came there and do something not according to the law.
You know, I would suggest to compare it with, you know, we once, I don't know if it still exists, when I was a kid, we had these places in Moscow where we exchanged stamps.
For example,
we came and just for exchange, and even the Soviets couldn't close them because we were not trading. We were just
it is a totalitarian practice. But we must resist in this way, in this way, in this way. It is a big battlefield, including, by the way, Russia too, because in Russia we have big troubles with these problems too. We know because some structures want to control internet, and some structures want to, for example, arrest you because in your computer is something without paper that you buy it very
so
poorly.
far we have heard about serious problems, internet problems in China, yes, but do you really, as a member of this pirate party, do you really see any serious threats to internet freedom in Russia? Are you serious about that?
Yes, because we know some cases, for example, in Krasnodar region, when some ecological activists had very big problems, according criminal problems, because their computers were arrested because some product inside this computer was not, they have not any papers to have this product. In this way, every civil activist can be arrested, so can be put in courts in modern reality. And of course we are against, because it's not a problem of money, really, it's a problem of control.
What's wrong with copyright?
What's wrong with copyright? For example, I'm author. And I don't afraid of if somebody can copy my book in the internet. Why? Because my copyright for me is that my name must be mentioned if my idea is in use. But the problem of money in this situation, I don't think about it so deeply that, oh, it is big problem for me as an author. Because if my book is internet, of course, much more people want to buy it in reality in a shop. Much more people, because they prefer, for example, have it in library, to read it in paper variant. So I understand that it is a problem of very little part of producers,
I see.
and I'm not their supporter as an author.
So you are not against books being freely published in the internet,
Yes.
Including your own books.
Yes.
I saw dozens of them today in the net for free. But you want your copyright still to exist for you to be able to sell them. Okay.
Not to sell. Not only to sell.
To market. To what?
My main interest in copyright as an author is my name must be mentioned if it is in use.
Okay.
But sell, it's not my problem.
Says Aleksandr Shubin, one of the leaders of the Russian Pirate Party. Spotlight will be back shortly after a break, so stay with us. Don't go.
A soulless substance, but it can attack like a well-trained army. Villages in ruins, fertile land where time stands still. All becomes a sea of nothingness. The mysterious sands of Russia on RT.
I was shot 4 times in total, and I have 1 exit wound. 3 of the bullets are still in my body.
And people should be allowed to defend themselves wherever they are. Guns in the hands of law-abiding, decent people are not a problem.
National Rifle Association was a group of basically retired military and police who love to shoot holes in paper.
I'm sorry, if you know that the bullet comes out here and this makes it go bang, and that what's in front of here is going to die, that's all the training you really, really need.
Raise your hand if you know somebody who's been shot. Okay.
Like you can't live without water. In Philadelphia, on these urban streets, you can't live without a gun.
Hopefully we will never have to use the weapons for self-defense, but we should be prepared.
The full class, including the teacher, I think was